Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to see the next point, Right to Information, RTI 2005. RTE and RTI, both are different. So today we are going to see Right to Information. Citizen empowerment is the essential condition of democracy. It is necessary to create opportunities for citizens' participation and interaction with the government. Increase the communication between citizens and government helps in strengthening the democracy and in building a relationship of trust between them. So, the citizen must empowerment and it is necessary to create opportunities for citizens, the participation and interaction. There must be the participation and interaction with the government, and that is why it is increased the communication between citizens and government help us in strengthening the democracy. If there is a interaction and participation of the citizens in government, and that is why it will help in strengthening democracy and in building a relationship of trust between them. So every citizen must be involved in the democracy, and also he should get the information. He also should get the communication with the government, and it will help to strengthen the democracy. And also it will help to build up the trust between the government and citizen. Citizens have a right to know about the functioning of the government. The government of India gave the right to information. The government of India gave the right to information, and because of this thing, every citizen of India can get the information about the functioning of the government, because it is the right of citizen, and it will help to ensure the transparency and accountability, which are the hallmarks of good governance. Means there must be the participation, there must be the communication to the government by the citizen, and means there will be the transparency and accountability, and it will be the hallmarks of good governance. Means what is going in the government, what functions is done by the government, and if every citizen knows this thing, means there is a transparency. Otherwise, if there is nothing by the citizen, means there is no participation, there is no interaction with the government, means it is sign that there is no transparency. So means we can know about the function of the government, because the government of India has given the right to information. So the right to information has made the government more transparent, and he has reduced the element of secrecy in the working of government. And because of this right to information, it is reduced the element of secrecy in the working of government. After the year 2000, the whole approach toward democratic reforms has changed. Democratic reforms are considered as right of citizen. Accordingly, citizens in India have got right to information, education and food security. So after 2000 year, the whole approach towards democratic reforms has changed, and democratic reforms are considered as rights of citizen. Accordingly, citizens in India have got right to information, education and food security. These rights have strengthened the democracy in India. Means every citizen of India has the right to information. Means he can know about the working of the government, means he has the right to education, and also he has right the food security. So these things help to strengthen the democracy in India. Now next point is that social justice and equality. Social justice and equality. Social justice and equality are the important objectives of our constitution. The constitution has given the guidelines to establish a new society based on these two values. We are following the path laid down by our constitution to achieve this goal. So our Indian constitution laid down this path, that is means the social justice and equality, means that this is the important objective of our constitution, social justice and equality. And also this constitution has given the guidelines to establish a new society based on these two values, that is mean social justice and equality. To establish social justice is to remove those social conditions which are responsible for injustice. Social justice, and suppose whatever the social conditions which are responsible for injustice, and insist on the equality of dignity for all individuals. The principles of justice and equality aim at ending the discrimination and social status which are superior or inferior on the basis of caste, religion, language and gender, place of birth, race, property, and giving the equality of opportunity for development to every individual. So the principle of justice and equality aim at ending the discrimination in social status, means there should not be the discrimination on the basis of the caste, religion, language and gender, place of birth, race, property, and giving the equality of the opportunity for development every individual. Means whatever he belongs to caste, whatever he belongs to the religion, it doesn't matter. Means all are equal at the social level. To establish justice and equality, efforts are to be made at all levels of society. But the government's efforts and policies on this front are more important for democracy to be inclusive. One must try to bring all sections of the society into the mainstream. Democracy is in fact a process of accommodating different sections in society, and democracy helps in reducing social conflicts. Let us take review of the efforts made in India in this direction. So, to establish justice and equality, efforts are to be made at all levels of society. And so, but the government's efforts and policies on this front are more important for democracy. So, some policies are implemented by the government to establish social justice and equality. Social justice and equality. Suppose someone belongs to high race or high caste, means he is not a superior before the law. Means all are equal, all are same before the law. Means it doesn't matter he belongs to the caste or he belongs to the religion or race, whatever it may be. That is why democracy helps in reducing social conflicts. So there is no conflict, there is no crisis among the caste, religion, because of these guidelines of the constitution. Let us take review of the efforts made in India in these directions. Now, policy of reservation of seats. So means we have to remove to the crisis on the basis of the caste, religion, place of birth, gender, the property, because the Indian Constitution has given the rights to all the citizens. So that's why the Indian Constitution has given the provision, policy of reservation of seats, means all caste, all religion must come in the mainstream. That was the purpose of the Indian Constitution. Policy of reservation of seats. Policy of reservation of seats is meant for those sections of society who have been deprived of the opportunities for education and employment for a long period of time. because some religion or maybe some caste were neglected of the opportunities of education and employment for a long period of time, and that's why in government services some seats are kept reserved for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Means some seats are reserved in the employment for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, means SC and ST, for these citizens. So there is a provision in the Indian Constitution, that is means some seats, special seats must be reserved for these SC and ST, means there must be the equality. There must be the equality among the caste and religion. Means whatever the caste backward, those who are backward, they must come in the mainstream. Means all religion and caste must be the parallel. This is also a provision of reservation of seats for the other backward classes, and also maybe SC, ST. Apart from SC and ST, other backward classes also has given the reservation for seats to bring them in parallel, to bring them in the mainstream. Now the Scheduled Caste and Tribes Prevention of the Atrocities Act. This is an important act for establishing social justice and equality. So there is a provision in the Indian Constitution, the Prevention of Atrocities, the Act, and so this will help to establish the social justice and equality. This Act prevents any injustice against the people belonging to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, and any act of atrocity committed against them is liable for punishment. So means if anyone is harassing the citizen, those who belong to the SC or ST, so there is a provision in the Indian Constitution, that is means someone is found guilty, so he will liable for the punishment, that is the atrocity. Provisions for minorities. Provisions for minorities. There is also provision in the Indian Constitution for the minorities. The Indian Constitution has made several provisions for the protection of minorities, and the government has adopted several policies for minorities to provide them the opportunities for education and employment. So there is a special provision in the Indian Constitution that has given the right to education and right to employment for the minorities. The Indian Constitution prohibits discrimination on the basis of the caste, religion, race, language and region. This is a comprehensive provision for minorities which is fundamentally protects their right to equality, freedom, right against exploitation and cultural and educational rights. So, in the Constitution there is a special provision, means that the Indian Constitution prohibits that discrimination on the basis of the caste, religion, race, language and region, means territory. So this is a comprehensive provision for minorities which is fundamentally protects their rights to equality. And that is the end of this point, provisions for minorities, and next point we will continue in the next video. So read it at home. I hope you understood well. So next point is that laws relating to women and provisions for representation, and that will be continued in the next video. Thank you.